Okay, so we're looking at 3 words, and these 3 words, I think, will shock some people, and I think this will go around the world. I think this will go around the planet, and it will just germinate. So I'm just going to start off talking about a few words to imprint you, to print you, and then basically there's 2 key words. That's all this is. This is like 1 page, right? So we have reality, we have read, we have represent, we have rest. We've got rest, we've got reply, we've got resign, and we've got relationship. Now, you and me is all, and it is a people, said to be a people. But they call it a reality. The alphabet is geometry, grammar, gematria, and numerology. So it has value. So why don't we add it? So you have counting. When you go to school, you learn the positive state. And then when you deal with instruments, it's called accounting. So we re-add instead of adding the grammar, the alphabet. Then we have our which is no, pre, which is before, and sent. No, I'm not representing, I'm presenting, I'm senting. This is sent. Sentient, you're sentient, right? Then you have rest, or I'm establishing. Then you have reply. No, I'm plying my trade. That's what they do. Then you got resign. No, this is a sign. Then you got relationship. This is a Latin ship that we're dealing with. So geometry is grammar, is weight and harm. Grammar is what? Gram is weight and mar is the harm. It's harmony. On is sol, on. Sol, and on is Latin for sun, Hindi for sun, and Egyptian for sun. So on is Egyptian for sun. It's Egyptian, harmony. They're harmonizing you. So it's gematria. Gemma is the bud, is the sprout, is the cup. And atri, as in atria, is a deadly, terrible, grisly, spiteful Roman deception all connected to the underworld. Now, this isn't about the word atri or atria, because they all mean court. It's connected to the underworld. So when the copper comes to you and he's got the watermark, the Egyptian watermark on his head, he's the obelisk, and that's the high watermark. He's telling you, you're in the underworld. Do you understand? Understand. Right? Under is un is no. Un is the undoing, is no. And then inter is no as well. Now the key word is under, which is not the one I'm talking about. It's international law. And what was the other one? So it was international law and hell. And so the cop was coming up to you is literally telling you, do you understand? Which is no, ter stand, and under is below. The name formerly given to the place under the exchequer where the king's debtors were confined. Hell, the definition of hell. So you're under the exchequer, so you're in the underworld, in the chamber of the Roman slave trading hall connected to the underworld. The copper is telling you, do you understand? Now, then we go to the word, I won't do international yet. So then you've got gematria, gematria in Aramaic, and geometria in Greek. In Aramaic, it's gematria, and gematria in the English. Is a Kabbalistic method of interpreting. There's interpreting the Hebrew scriptures by computing the numerological value of the words based on the values of their constituent letters. So the value of the letter, it's not the meaning of the letter, it's the numerological value of the letter. So the alphabet is numerology. You just don't realise because it's based on the curvature, the geometry. So then what happens is you start to understand that geometry, the alphabet, the gematria, the grammar is based on the numerological value of the computing of the fucking value of the word of the letter, the constituent letter. So then we go to international law. Inter, incompetent, under, unhitch the trailer. I can't think at the moment. Sorry, my brain's having a brain fart. So unhitch the trailer, right? It's the undoing, right? It's the incompetence, not competent. So international law is the law of the underworld. Now, I'm going to prove it, and you're going to Google it because you won't believe this. But understanding of geometry, geometric fruit of the court. Inter, if you Google it, is a place, a corpse, a grave, a tomb, typically funeral rites. Now, inter comes from funero, we'll say funeral, but it's fun. It's a variation, it's a derivation, it's a dialect designed to go down and confound your speech. So funero is the Latin word inter is rooted in, it means bury solemnly in funeral rites. Then inter is also represented by confunero, which you think was the antithesis, but it's the second word, and it means to bury, ruin, and destroy. So international law is to bury, ruin, and destroy the Gentiles, the non-Jews, because national comes from gentium, lex, law of nations comes from lex gentium, lex is law, and gentium is Gentile in English. So the international law is the law of the Jew, of the moneylender, is to bury, ruin, and destroy mankind. Right? I can't make this up. So you got the copper saying you understand. He's saying you understand is you're standing in the underworld, in hell. Then you've got international law, which means to bury, ruin, and destroy the Gentiles. International law is a declaration of war. They're making a claim they're going to kill you. All right? Now, saying you're having fun is the root of death. So you've got funeral rites or funeral rites. So they've got us going around saying we're dead by saying, oh, have fun, and nice means not see. You can't see the meaning of the word. A notary said that to me, Deborah Bentley. Don't use the word nice. Right? She gave me I can count probably 15 to 20 stupid things she gave me. Right? And someone might say, oh, she's trying to wake up. I was already awake. I was already woke. And I was going through the dialectic. That's why they fucking wanted to steer me, because I was told by another notary who put me onto Deborah that everything's a trim tab. They keep steering you off course. Little fucking throw stones at his house, fucking knock him out the fucking street, fucking ram him on the way to fucking the Gloucester Channel, mock ram him and fucking crack his windscreen coming back from the Gloucester Channel. Have fucking 4 different groups of Arabs turn up in remote areas where, without fishing gear, without camping gear, who just fucking not sightseeing when it just gone dark when we were leaving, and looking at me like I'm a box of apples and then a donkey. Oh, there he is. And then they've got a Syrian, another Middle Eastern fucking halfwit, brother to a sister cop who's bragging that her brother was the one who fucking brake checked me and caused the accident. And then my missus was just like, just fucking pay it. Make it go away, just pay it. And I was like, fucking, I didn't know about a testamentary statement. So she fucking paid it and I told her not to. About the time she was the director of the company. So the whole system is based on trauma and targeting you, destroying the family. So international law means to bury, ruin, destroy the Gentile, because national means Gentile, right? That includes the Muslim, right? Because the Jews will actually say the Muslims are dogs, like the Christians, they call them goyim, and references where notable people have said that the Muslim is the tool of Judaism, right? I'm not kicking Muslims because like when the Muslims go to war with the Christians are going to destroy them because fucking the Christians have got weapons far and away above. But it won't be against the Muslims and the Christians. That's one aspect of the Albert Pike's Third World War that he's written about. The head of Freemasonry back in the day, 1771, I think it was. But it's going to be East versus West. So they'll destabilise the West. They're going to destroy America from within. Look at California. It's just one big fucking meth pipe. You got the super rich, and then the fucking, they got guards and guns and everything. And it's like Chicago. You're not allowed to have a gun there. But if you go to Texas, Texas has got some counties you have to have a gun on you. There's no crime there. Cops don't get robbed. Police stations don't get robbed. Courts don't get robbed. But everyone else does because they've disarmed them. They turn you into the fucking Gentile. You know, the Celtic tribes were fucking feared. You know, the Maoris were fucking feared. Not going to go poking a Maori these days, but cunts are too fucking big. But you get what I'm trying to say. Right? You got... Not that you want to get poked at someone anyway, but you get what I'm trying to say. So, the word grammar and geometry and gematria all means the numerical value of the letter. And international law means, inter means it's the root, means to burn, ruin, and destroy. And national is Gentile, so burn, ruin, and destroy the Gentile. Anyone who's not a Jew. So international law is a declaration of fucking war. And then you got the cops saying, do you understand? Well, there's your understanding right there. It's under the exchequer where the debtors were confined. Right? So now you're probably thinking, this is just Joe's opinion. This is William Whitaker's words, the world's best Latin English translator. Conferno, to bury, rule, and destroy. Then you got ferno. Bury solemnly. Funeral rites. Funero. Then you got inter. I can't make this up. The blackfellas, the tribes, the Celts. There you go. So inter, place, a corpse, a grave, a tomb, typically funeral rites, funero and confinero. Sorry, I highlighted it with my cursor. You even call it a cursor. Cur is a bastard. Cursor is cursive. C-U-R is the root. So international law is a law of the underworld. Inter is unter, and international law is to bury and destroy the Gentile, and all these fucking Indians and Pakistani who doing all these psych degrees that are getting jobs for the government, just drugging the fuck out of Aussies. You're going to get targeted, right? And what happens when they bring it down to 500 million? Who are you going to psych? You think they're going to tolerate you? They're going to wipe you out, right? They've still got the caste system in fucking India, right? All governments are the Jew, the moneylender, right? So international law is to burn, ruin, and destroy the Gentile. Understanding is the underworld, is hell. So that when the cop comes up to you and says, "Do you understand?" He's saying that you're in the underworld, you're in hell. It's a cult. C-U-L is to kill, and T is the mark, right? Police, the word police comes from policy. P-O-L-I-C, policy. C-E is C, policy. They enforce policy. It's administrative. This is they've reality, they re-add, they represent, they re-est, they reply, they re-sign. It's a negative state, right? That Rex is their king. Rex is their god, right? So Rex means no. Regis means king, register. Re means no, just as a fact, and ter is earth, no fact of earth. They've got you off the ship, off their metaphysical ship. Fucking thing, international law means to bury and destroy mankind, right? Understanding means you're in the underworld under the king's fucking exchequer chamber. So when you walk in a court, he's sitting up on his ledger. He's the exchequer. He's the one doing the accounting. He's the Judas working for the moneylenders. They told you what they're doing in the Bible, and you're not doing anything about it because you can't read their allegory, their metaphors. Anyway, that's a quick one. Hope you liked it. I'm going to go do some work. No, it's still recording. Cancel. I've got to pause it first.